Good day, everyone. Today, I'm going to elaborate how humans think and try to differentiate between cultures, considering Western culture and Asian culture, a different sets of culture. If we understand cultural thinking process, then we can prepare a nation or any individual for business negotiation among these groups. There is a stark difference between Western business negotiation and Asian business negotiations. If we can understand how they think, even before going into negotiation, we can predict where they're coming from and handle the situation better. The primary reason for this podcast is in the setting of recent revolution in Bangladesh, West will come to do business, but they will look for stability. Now, when only 1 or 2% in the administration is business savvy, that will not be enough or sufficient to win a business negotiation. Whole population has to have basics understanding of business. That's where Western superiority is. In the West, business is taught starting from the childhood, and everybody understands business. Let me elaborate this a little more. Whole idea is to predict the future. If we can predict future geopolitical conflicts, then we can protect freedom. All leaders are human. All human follows a pattern in decision making. You have to believe this. Always look at the past actions, pattern of actions. That will provide you roadmap for future events. But the patterns of human actions or leadership actions differ among democratic versus autocratic governments, right? They have patterns. And also right-wing extremist versus centrist government. Why there is difference? Right-wing extremist has to satisfy their right-wing supporters. So negotiation will be hardline. It will not be win-win negotiation. It will be win-lose negotiation. In contrary, if it is a centrist government, they are more reasonable people who put the government in power. This group of people this government may allow win-win negotiation. The podcast actually dedicated to recent revolution in Bangladesh, and it is going to face a lot of negotiation with Western powers, Western businesses, as well as there is a heightened tension between India-Bangladesh relationship. So understand how a Indian business or politician will act or think, what is the future roadmap for that relationship compared to a Western power, Western relationship. Let's understand why Westerns dominates the world in finances. When they dominate the world in finances, they actually dominate via negotiation. They are master negotiator. Now, what if I understand what is in a Western's mind? That will give anyone an upper hand. Which direction they are coming? Consider a business negotiation. Again, you want to know your opponent. So what any business negotiation, consider it is a deal. What does a Western want from a deal? They want to take the control, no matter what. If there is no control in the deal, they will not come and spend time on it. Why? If there is no control, the time they're spending in another way, without a control, you can nullify or remove them from the deal. That will be a big loss. So they are looking for control. And all business, this should be a standard across the globe, should be in written with legally bind. That's where West is a fertile ground for business. In Asian culture, many times business happens on verbal agreement, and even if it is a written contract, people do not respect the written agreement and get into trouble. That makes it a very difficult business environment. That's why business doesn't grow as good as in Western soil. Second thing Western looking for is long-term goal. They are not interested in short-term monetary benefit. So they have to have a long-term solid goal with total control. And third mindset is they will offer you title. Remember, British ruled the colonial countries by giving so many titles like Sir, and colonial countries, they give their country in return to British emperor because they got a title. So that's the way to control. But similarly, Western power, when they come to negotiate with a national level, they will give a assurance of power, like a title. They will let you stay in power. In return, they will control the finances. So let's understand Western mindset. You have to also know their mindset. What is the key characteristics in Westerns? They are stubborn. One word, if you want to describe Westerns, they are stubborn. They will double down on strategies even when they are proven wrong. Imagine, include Iraq War. They knew there was no WMD, but they did double down on it. Imagine Russia-Ukraine conflict. They will double down. Stubbornness is their DNA. Second characteristic separates the Western versus Asians are ambitions. In Asia, they may consider this ambition as a greed. This is moral difference, but Westerners are mostly ambitious. That's why everybody is ambitious in the Western society. Majority, I would say. So in order to appeal to their interest, You have to align your proposal with their goals. Ensure that fits into their larger economic or political framework. If you can convince them, they might work with you. But it is your responsibility to draw their attention and align your proposal with their interest. Third most important thing is leverage. This is where deals are made in the West. Be patient. They will slow down the deal. Show that you can survive economically without them. The less dependent you are, more balanced the negotiation will be. That is the key. If you show your dependence, they will mow you down. So by knowing this negotiation mindset and personal DNA mindset, these are two things. How do they negotiate in the table? What is their personal characteristics? And now, how can you win negotiation? Bring economic strength to the table. Number one. Remember, you are feeding two things here. Number one is ambitious mindset. You are attracting ambitious mindset by bringing economic strength. Number two, you are also answering the leverage question here, right? Highlight assets or sectors of your economy that holds value. For Bangladesh, garments. Second can be, there are lots of good education, engineering, software industry can grow like in Indian model if stability can be provided, low cost engineers can be hired like a Google, Microsoft, or tech industry. Backbone can be built in Bangladesh. Show self-reliance. Again, why? Leverage. If you show weakness, you lost the deal. Emphasize economic independence. That's the key. And play to their ambitions is the number three. Because they are all ambitious, they want to do more, bringing economic strength to the table also help that. Here is one fair deal happens in Western negotiation. They want to consider a deal win-win because that's in their DNA. They will do exactly same thing negotiating with you, even you are Asian, or they will do the same negotiation technique with the Westerns, even they are whites or they are Western countries. They believe in win-win scenario. That's where any business, any work environment gets better because of their win-win scenario mindset. And number four is you have to master leverage techniques. You give whatever you give them, they will ask for more. So you need to identify what they need and negotiate from the strength. That will ensure better outcome. Now, it's important to predict how India will react. Indian businesses will react. So you have to understand Asian negotiation mindset. This is different culturally. totally different than Western. Remember, the Western negotiation mindset, rule number one in the West, they are stubborn. And second is ambitious, right? This is not the case for India or Asian population. Rule number one for negotiation with Indians or Asians is leverage. Indian culture highly value leverage and control. Show that you can survive economically without them. The less dependent you are, the more balanced the negotiation will be. If you follow that rule with India, you can prevent all future geopolitical mess ups. To keep countries' freedom, that will be my second subsequent podcast. How you strengthen the national security apparatus will determine whether you can remain as a free nation. Imagine Sikkim, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and last 15 years in Bangladesh. What happened? Why? Lack of leverage, lack of deterrent, security deterrence led to kind of occupation, Indian occupation in this area. There is a second mindset which is very unique for Asian culture. Win-lose strategy. If you have power, you want to win and other party needs to lose. Otherwise, you don't think it is a good deal. This is completely different in Western culture. This Asian negotiation does not believe in win-win scenario for cultural reason. The strategic goal is to win, securing their key interests. Does not matter even if you lose. So again, the negotiation strategy of this group of people with this group of people will be negotiating from strength, ensuring better outcomes. In conclusion, without adequate knowledge among the general population about negotiation skill, no nation can rise to the power and financial rankings. Everything in life is negotiation. Every communication with your wife, husband, father, son, school teacher, business environment is negotiation. Western culture is inbuilt with this negotiation. They learn it from the home. In Asian culture, in Bangladeshi culture, it's missing. Education system is missing this. Without that, sometimes many nations you will see in African countries in wars, it's failure to negotiate. In war, everybody loses. Unless there is a revolution needed against the oppressor. And one key information you want to learn from this presentation today is leverage. You have to understand what is your leverage. Leverage is the key in winning any negotiation. Good luck, everybody.